Hi everyone, and welcome to today's practice. Thank you for joining me here today. I am Kathleen, and this is the Aligned Living platform. Today's practice is going to be all about the hips. So please take it easy. Remember, discomfort is inevitable, but pain is not invited. So honor that, honor where you are, move from a place of love, compassion, and kindness. We're going to get started straight away. So you can come to lie on your back. We're just going to start in a gentle Shavasana, feet flopping out, gentle external rotation of the thighs, arms outwards, palms facing up, little tuck of the chin, and just resting the whole back line of the body on your mat, on the ground. And the eyes can close. And you're simply giving yourself a few moments to arrive. So perhaps you're doing this class first thing in the morning, which means you're moving from sleep state to wake state. Perhaps you're doing this class last thing in the evening. And so you're wanting to move from that busy mind, wakeful state into a more calm, relaxing energy, setting yourself up for a good night's rest. Or perhaps you're doing this in the middle of the day, and then you can just be nice and present as you maybe need this practice to help you to energize yourself a little bit. Set your intention for your practice and take 3 more breaths. After your 3 breaths, bring the legs together, gently point the toes and reach the arms back behind you as you take a nice long full body stretch. Good. Eyes can open if they're closed. You can bring your left thigh to your chest, holding either the front of the shin or the back of the thighs. You just squeeze that leg in nice and tight. Remembering our bodies store all our emotions, all our experiences, especially around these big muscles, these big joints. A lot of emotions and feelings can start to release throughout the practice. That's very normal. So allow that to happen. Notice it, observe it, but try not to get stuck in any narratives that the brain might want to start to go into. This is not a time for problem solving or looking for solutions or figuring things out. This is simply a time for you to be and to receive. All right, back into your full body stretch as you point both feet forward, reach the arms back. And then left thigh into chest, holding the back of the thigh or the front of the shin. You gently squeeze that leg in. You want your practice to feel good. You want to find some pleasure in it. And it's not just being about finding the perfect pose or kind of using the mind to dictate what is happening in your practice. Can you drop from the mind into the body? Let's bring the right knee in to meet the left. Bring your right hand on top of your right knee, left hand on top of your left knee, and just start to roll the legs around in circles. So moving those big femur bones around in circles, the legs pretty much mirroring one another. Abdominals can be nice and soft here as you just allow the pelvis to rock forward and back. Good. Let's change direction. No need to wonder what's coming next. What's the next pose? How long are we doing this for? Can you really just drop into sensation? Allow yourself to be in the experience in every single moment. All right, the next time your knees come to your armpits, you're going to pause. Flex the ankles, bring the knees into 90 degrees. You're in an external rotation, so the knees are pointing as out as they can. And then you're either holding onto the outer thighs or the outer edges of the feet, our happy baby pose. And then here, like a baby would, you can just start to rock a little side to side. If you roll over, roll yourself back. But just start to bring a little bit of movement into this. And remembering to keep the breath moving throughout the entire practice. All right, well done. Let's find a bit of stillness here as we change shapes. Keep the right foot as it is. Place your left foot down as you would a half bridge pose, and then find your figure four. So flexed right ankle on top of left thigh. Want you to bring the weight back into your left buttocks and lengthen the right side of your body. So you could just simply use your right hand to encourage that right thigh to roll a little further away from you. You could also lift your left foot to hold the back of the left thigh or the front of the left shin. That left ankle can stay pretty relaxed here, but try for safety of that right ankle and right knee to keep that right ankle nice and active. Squeezing that thigh in as tight as feels good. And take a few more breaths here. With every exhale, really releasing. Maybe your exhale's out through the mouth. Nice big sigh, a yawn, or even with some sound. Helping the body to release trapped stress, trapped tension, trapped emotions. Allowing things to flow and go. Well done. We'll do a simple switch, so left foot down and right foot down. Find your happy baby for a moment with the left leg. And then use that setup of the flexed left ankle and left knee to find the figure four shape. Bring the weight back into the right buttocks, lengthen the left hip down, and then if you did so on the other side, that right foot will come off the floor, and you'll use that as a little lever to bring the left ankle closer towards you, but the left knee away from you. Again, remember, you don't want to be feeling pain here. So if anything is painful, readjust, maybe back off a little bit. Give your body space to breathe. Good. Release right foot down, then left foot down. Reaching the arms back behind you for a gentle bridge pose. Press into the feet, curl your tailbone towards the back of the knees and start to lift the hips. Opening up the front line of the body. Opening up across the thighs, across the front of the hips. And then from top to bottom, slowly rolling the spine down. You can bring both the thighs to the chest. And then from here, start to take a few little rocks forward and back until you come all the way up. Going to come over the knees. We're going to find a tabletop position. Palms spread, fingers spread, knees hip distance. And then taking the hands a little further in front of the shoulders, tuck your toes, find your downward dog. So if your back line's quite tight here, you might keep the knees bent. You could pedal out the legs one at a time. You can nod the head yes and no, make sure there's no tension around the neck. And then finding a bit of stillness here, so just finding this beautiful full lengthening across the back line of the body. Keep wrapping those outer shoulders down, rib cage draws slightly in, firming through the front of the legs. And then just breathing in this inversion, taking 3 more breaths. Good. Bring the knees to the floor, and as you do, take them nice and wide apart. Untuck your toes to bring the big toes to touch. Sit your buttocks back to your heels for a nice wide knee child's pose. You can take quite a soft shape here, so elbows can be on the mat. Perhaps the forehead touches the floor, perhaps not. Perhaps the buttocks touch the heels, perhaps not. Just meet the pose where you are today. Take 5 more nice long deep breaths here. Good. After your 5th exhale, let's find our downward dog again. We're going to use it as a transition. So you can bring the feet a little closer together, then float your right leg up to a 3-legged dog. Bend your right knee and start to point the right knee up towards the sky. So you can slightly turn the torso, looking under that right armpit, and really pull that knee up, pull that right hip back. And bring the hip line to be level again with the knee bent. Suck it into your belly. Look forward. Step through. Find a nice long lunge. Chest reaching forward. Shoulder blades settling down. Left heel pulling backwards and lower belly lifting. We'll set up for our runner's lunge. So let's lower the left knee down. Untuck the toes and then shift your right foot over to the right. So the right knee, right foot will be pointing in the same direction. Hands to the inside of that right foot. You can choose to stay here or move down onto your elbows. Head relaxes all the way down. We can take a couple deep breaths here. Keep a gentle drawing back of the abdominals. But remember, this left hip is trying to move as far forward as it can. And see if you can melt the chest a little further down. And the crown of the head, the top of the head, move it a little further forward. Don't forget about that right foot. Gentle pressure into your right big toe. Good, well done. Press onto your hands if you move down. Going to take your left hand to the left and we're going to rotate to the right. So rotating, you'll feel this through the whole torso, reaching the right fingertips up to the sky, opening up the chest, feeling the movements around the hips. You might feel it quite intensely in the front of that left hip, left thigh. So if that's enough for you, stay there. Otherwise, start to lower your right wrist in line with your right shoulder. Activate your left hamstring. Bring your left heel towards your bum. You might reach on to that left foot. We'll take a few breaths here. So remember, we meet intensity with our breath. Sigh it out, moan it out, groan it out if you need to. Release. Beautiful. If you're holding on to that left foot, let it go. Bring the hands forward, tuck your left toes under, raise your left knee and walk your right foot back into a lunge. And then step it back to find a plank pose. Let's lower the knees, bring ourselves all the way down, untuck the toes and take the hands a little forward. Find a cobra pose. And then lower back down. Hands either side of the rib cage, come back onto the knees, find downward facing dog. Left leg to float up. Bend the left knee and start to point that left knee up towards the sky as you look underneath your left armpit. Pulling that left knee back, so you can really anchor into your right heel. Finding space in the front body. A little bit of a back bend here. Finding space in that front line. And then level off the pelvis again. Bring that bent knee to step through between the hands and find your long lunge. So at first you're just keeping right knee off the floor, extending that right heel back as you take your chest forward. And then let's lower that right knee down. Untuck your right toes and then slowly move your left foot over to the left. Hands to the inside of that left foot, encouraging the chest to move forward, the hips to move forward, and then you can stay here if that's enough for you. Or if you did so on the other side to balance out, you might come down onto your elbows. Chest moves down, crown of the head moves forward. Maybe you relax the head down a little more. And remember to keep pressing gently into your left big toe. Couple nice deep breaths here as we stay. Watch the mind, watch the vrittis, the fluctuations of the mind that want to pull us out of the present moment. Simply keep yourself connected to your breath, just observing what you're feeling, what you're experiencing. Good. One more breath here. And then let's press back onto the hands. So you can take your right hand a little out to the right. We're going to twist and rotate through the body. So you're going to open up the left side of the chest, sinking the hips forward, and finding that opening in the front of that right hip, right thigh. Trying to feel that you're not adding any tension in the body when the intensity increases. So stay here if this is enough. If you want a little more, remember left arm back and then reaching for that right foot. So beautiful full twist. Got a whole family of geese who've arrived. Nice deep breaths here. Pelvis can sink forward. But you're still pressing gently down into left foot, right hand. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Beautiful. And then release down. Bring the hands down. Tuck the right toes under, raise the right knee. Bring that left foot in. Step back to find a plank pose. You can lower the knees. Bring yourself all the way down. Untuck the toes. Take the hands a little forward and wide of the shoulders. Find a gentle cobra pose. Inhale. Lower down. Exhale. Come up onto the knees and again find your downward facing dog. So just a nice last stretch out here in your downward dog. Good. As a transition, we're going to step the right foot between the hands and then rotate to face the long edge of your mat. So Prasarita Parattanasana, wide-legged standing forward fold, heels in alignment with one another. You firming through the front of the knees. Stay in your halfway lift for a moment. Bend the knees a little if you need to really encourage the pelvic ball to tilt a little forward. And then from there you could start to soften the elbows. Maybe the hands walk back between the feet. Then see if you can completely relax down from the lower back, the middle back, upper back, neck and head. Again, you could nod the head a little yes and no. Nice deep breaths here. Just easing into being in the shape, in this inversion. Keeping in mind if you're ever upside down in a pose, if you feel nauseous, if you feel dizzy, doesn't feel great, simply come back out into a halfway lift. Don't force yourself to stay there. And take 3 more breaths. And then we'll come into a nice little halfway lift. Heel toe the feet a little closer so that you can find your Malasana squat. Maybe the hands lift, maybe you keep the hands on the ground. Elbows could come to the inside of the thighs. And then sitting the buttocks down, finding a cross-legged seat. Going to reach the arms up, swoop the arms back behind you, Interlace the fingers and let's just get a nice opening for the upper back and the chest here. Enjoying the last few moments on your mat. Soften the arms so that you can change the interlace, so opposite thumb will be on top. And then again, extending the arms back behind you, rolling shoulder caps back, squeezing shoulder blades together. Maybe the elbows straighten, maybe they don't, doesn't matter. What you're focusing on here is finding that space in the chest. Well done. Slowly release. Change the cross of the legs. Hands to the knees. Let's give the neck a last bit of love. Lowering chin to chest, rolling right ear to right shoulder. Taking the head back and around, left ear to left shoulder. Chin to chest. 2 more in that direction. And then we'll pause, chin to chest, and change direction, left ear to left shoulder. Taking the head around. 2 more in that direction. And then bringing the head all the way back up. Let's bring palms together, hands to heart. Bowing the head down. And taking a moment just to really show some gratitude to our bodies. Often on our yoga mat, we can feel a lot of emotions. We can feel frustrated. We can feel uncomfortable. It can feel like a lot. But our bodies hold our whole human experience. And this is not a simple experience that we are a part of. And so we must accept that as much as there can be this beautiful sensations of pleasure, there are too the intense sensations of discomfort. And there are lessons in them both. So taking a last moment of gratitude for your body, for yourself, your efforts and your commitment for showing up on your mat today. Gratitude to the practice of yoga, all its teachers and all its lineages. And I thank you for showing up exactly as you are. Taking a final deep breath in. Big sigh out. And when you're ready, eyes can open and gaze can raise. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I really hope that you enjoyed that. I've had a beautiful practice out here in the beautiful sunny Vermont, Hermanus, South Africa. We've had some devastating storms in the last couple weeks, so it is such a blessing and I have so much gratitude for feeling the sun on my skin today. So well done for getting on your mat. Thank you for joining me. Please, if you enjoyed this class, like it, leave a comment, share it with anyone you feel may benefit from it. Subscribe to the channel so we can keep growing this community. And I look forward to seeing you on the mat soon again. If you want to know more about the full membership where you can get full length classes, from 60-minute classes to 75-minute classes, breathwork and meditation practices, please head over to the website or leave a comment here on the video and I'll get back to you with that. Much love and appreciation. I hope this practice continues to serve you throughout the rest of your day and week.